and welcome to this week's episode of Feature Friday, presented by Fort Financial, where each week we sit down with Purdue Fort Wayne student athlete and discuss a variety of topics. I'm Alissa Volante, graduate assistant of media services, and I'm here with fifth-year senior middle blocker on the men's volleyball team, Richie Diedrich. Let's begin. All right, Richie, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Not much to say. Like you said, my name's Richie, and I came to Purdue Fort Wayne, I guess 5 years ago now. I'm from Orlando, Florida. Other than that, not too much. I plan on hopefully graduating and going on to play some pro ball, and we'll see what goes from there.
All right, what made you want to become a collegiate athlete?
Oh gosh, I've always wanted to play college sports. I never knew what sport I wanted to play. Growing up, I always played football and basketball. My oldest sister ended up going to college for volleyball. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I went to like the second day of tryouts, I think it was my junior year of high school, fell in love with it, dropped both football and basketball, and ended up being fortunate enough to make it work and made it to college. So at the end of the day, I just wanted to play a college sport, and it just so happened to be that volleyball fell right into place right at the perfect time.
Now, like you mentioned, your sister played collegiate volleyball, you play collegiate volleyball, your brother plays collegiate volleyball. You come in from a pretty competitive family. What was that like growing up?
Yeah, it was, I mean, it's good. It helps when it comes to college sports. There was never an easy day in our household. To this day, my sister's been out of college for a few years now, but it doesn't matter. We show up to the house, whether we're playing catch in the backyard, we're shooting hoops in the front yard. We're always going way harder than we should be. Our poor neighbors probably hate us when we start playing because we're busting fences up. And then even my younger sister, she's become kind of a pretty good diver now. But it doesn't matter what sport it is. If we go out to the tennis courts or we're going to play beach volleyball, it doesn't matter. All four of us are way too competitive, but it worked out. And transitioning into college, it's only helped. And especially now that John's playing here with me, I'm sure there's been a few times where the coaches want to break us up, but that's just how we roll. So
now you do play with your brother. You guys play on the same team. Both of you are pretty much starters. Do you guys ever get super competitive during practice?
Oh yeah. We do, and I think it's the only reason it's different between him and I is because I think we're pretty good at getting after it and then walking away and know that it's what just happened is over with. Whereas I know some people can sometimes take it to heart, but we push each other, I think, pretty well, or at least I think so. I hope he thinks so too. And I think we make it work, but there's definitely times in practice where they'll definitely have to step in between us and make sure, we gotta just calm down a little bit for at least the rest of the guys. So.
All right. Now, unfortunately, last year, your season was cut short due to the COVID-19 pandemic. You guys were in Puerto Rico at the time when you heard this news. Walk us through what that was like for you.
Oh man, it was tough. Now, granted, I was probably in the best spot in the world to be told that terrible news at the time, sitting on the beach, enjoying the weather. But it was sickening, and for just about everybody in athletics, there always comes a point where your time is up. My time happened to come up, that day that we were notified, and fortunately enough, weeks and then turned into months down the road, I got the opportunity to come back. So that definitely helped everything. I mean, who gets second chances, and it's such a rarity. So I'm pretty thankful for that. But the initial blow of the news was pretty tough. Just because, Pele and I were looking into the next month or so of our lives to finish up college athletics and hopefully, move on to whatever we did. And that kind of came to a pretty abrupt stop. And but like I said, we got the chance to come back. So it's a bittersweet, we wanted to kind of wrap it up and put a period to the end of that sentence, but we didn't get the chance. So here we are now.
All right. Now, like you mentioned, you were given the chance to come back. You were told that awful news, and then it was almost like a roller coaster of emotions. What went through your mind when you got that call saying like, hey, do you want to come back here?
It's funny, when Pele and I, because we were both in contact basically the whole summer, just seeing what the heck we were going to do. When he got the news, I think it was probably within the day, if, maybe a couple days after, he was, boom, I'm on it, I'm coming back. I sat back for a little bit longer and just kind of thought about it. With everything that was going on, I just wasn't sure what my best option would be at the time. But the more I thought about it, the more I knew that this coming back would be a no-brainer. Between working on a master's and then, of course, getting another opportunity to play, be with the team, have another year of college, it was just all checks were being marked off. So, yeah, like you said, it was a roller coaster for sure. But I'm glad I made the decision that I made, and we're back, and I couldn't be happier.
Now, by the time this interview airs, you guys are going to be preparing to play McKendree this weekend, as well as have your senior day on Sunday that you weren't able to have last year. What are some things you guys are preparing for this upcoming weekend?
I think it's funny because for so long we've always looked across the net. What do we have to do to beat the team across the net? For the first time in my career, it's what are we going to do on our side of the net to beat the team, which is a really good thing. It can also be a really bad thing. But I think with the guys on the team right now, I think it's a good thing this year because we've got the firepower. We've got the ability to change the course of any game versus any team. So we're really focusing on what we can do this week, especially since McKendree's playing so well. When when all cylinders are going, we're pretty nasty. So I'm hoping if we can just show up, focus on our side of the net, keep it all internal. Don't even give them the chance, to come in and break up what we've been working on. I think we'll be good to go. And then of course, senior night or senior day, whatever it ends up, I'm just happy to have something at this point. Looking back at, like you said, last year, it was just kind of ripped away. So I'm just happy to be there and be with the guys and hopefully enjoy and hopefully, of course, win the last time at the Gate Center.
All right, now last question before we go into some rapid fire questions. Besides finishing the season, what are some of your guys' goals this year?
Yeah, number one, finishing for sure, especially in a time like this. Knock on wood, of course, we've just been so fortunate in the spring to number one, be able to even play, and then number two, stay pretty healthy for the most part. But of course, winning the MIVA, I think that's always a goal of our team. And then, of course, just getting better. I want everybody to get better. I want the guys who are looking to go play pro to get some good film on them, get some good highlight reels, and hopefully just grow as a team. I mean, outside of the winning and losing, of course, that's what we came here for. But hopefully, the bigger picture is just to help everybody around each other and just grow as hopefully better humans and teammates.
All right, are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Let's do it.
All right, what's your favorite social media platform?
YouTube. I don't know if that is one, but that's all I use. So.
What's your favorite food?
Pizza and wings. I think I'm going pizza and wings.
What's your favorite holiday?
Let's go Christmas. I like seeing the family over the Christmas break.
What's your favorite superhero?
Not a big superhero person. My sister's gonna kill me for this. I'm gonna go Iron Man.
What's your favorite candy?
God, I'm boring. Let's go. I don't really eat much candy. Snickers.
All right, and between you and John, who's the better player overall?
Oh boy, what are you trying to do to us, Alissa? I'm gonna go him. I gotta hype him up so at least he comes back and pushes me a little bit more. I mean, the dude's a freak athlete. I mean, everybody who's watched us play has seen it. There's no hiding that. So his ceiling or his roof is probably higher than mine, simply because he's a beast out there. And yeah, I mean, that's as simple as that.
That'll do for us here on this week's episode of Feature Friday. Thank you to Richie Diedrich for joining us, and thank you to Fort Financial for sponsoring this week's episode. Be sure to check out GoMastodons.com and follow Purdue Fort Wayne Athletics on social media. We'll see you next week. Go Dons!